Hi everyone, I am Iqbal Khan and today we are going to walk through the steps of repotting and pruning an old larch bonsai. Larches are deciduous conifers and are known for their beautiful needle-like leaves that turn golden yellow in autumn. Repotting and pruning are crucial for maintaining the health and shape of your bonsai. So let's get started. Before we begin, I have all my tools and materials ready to reduce the stress on the tree. We will need a decent bonsai soil mix, which I have prepared myself in little buckets, and we'll be using that later on in the video. We need a bonsai pot, which I have here. It is slightly larger than the one the tree is currently in, and in addition to that, mesh for drainage holes, which I've already applied, and I've also applied wire, and I have plenty of wire here should we need more. We will need these rakes, a root hook, and a pair of chopsticks, a pair of scissors, a wire cutter, and root pruning scissors, a bonsai plier, and watering can or a spray. We also need a little scoop for the soil mix. I have a small one and I also have a large one. You don't need all the tools that I've just shown you if you have just one or two trees. You can make do with these garden secateurs, a sharp scissor, a pair of pliers, doubles up as wire cutter. This is the old larch, and I've had this since 2012 or 2013. I've worked on it a few times. It was in a very bad state. The history and what the tree has been through is in the videos, which I'll put in the link on the top right hand. It'd be interesting if you could watch those as well, so you get full understanding of how this tree started with me when I acquired it. The pot is well and truly broken. As you can see, this has really come into two bits, and even at the bottom is broken, so it'll be quite easy to, there we go. Now, removing the tree out of the pot should be done very gently, and it should be removed without causing damage to the tree. So I've already made a start, and I've got a stone here. It's quite dry. I haven't watered it today, and it's been quite hot, so we will remove as much of the soil as we can. And again, when we repot in this heat, we never bare root. So if you're doing this at home, be very careful in hot weather that you don't bare root, and make sure that you have a decent root ball. But we have to do it because I have so many trees that I can't do them all in February, March, and not every tree gets looked at or dealt with, and some trees go without repotting for more than 2 years. That is the deciduous trees. Now the pines and junipers, they can go up to between 8 to 10 years without being repotted, and when they do need repotting, they tell you by pushing the soil out of the pot, and it's literally sticking out. The sides of the soil are quite solid and sticking out of the pot. These are the roots which I'm going to leave on. A lot of the thicker roots have been pruned off, and that's what we're left with, a nice root ball. They were covered, and some of them were just barely above the soil, so we'll be exposing these, and same thing with these roots. Now I'm making a mound of the bonsai soil mix in the middle of the pot, and I will then ease the tree onto it. I have positioned the tree in the pot and eased it in, and also I have wired the tree, 2 wires coming from this side and 2 wires coming from that side, and I've taken the wires from over and under the roots, if that makes sense, and we'll start tightening these to secure the tree I like to secure my trees into the pots with wires. That I was taught. And some trees I don't, the very big ones, but most of them I do. And the advantage of that is that if the tree moves accidentally, there's no damage. And also with the feeder roots, they're very, very thin, and if the tree moves in the pot, again there's a risk of the feeder roots breaking and causing damage to the tree, setting the tree back. We've got a lot of foxes and squirrels in the garden. I'm pulling it hard to take the slack. That the tree is fully secured in the pot. And once the repotting is complete, I go to the bottom of the pot and bend the wires slightly to take off the slack. So this is done, and I will now cut this off with wire cutters. That's that one done, and same thing will be repeated on this side. Right, so that's pretty secure. If I move the tree, the pot moves, so that's a good sign. Job well done. And again, just cut the excess wire from this side and turn the wire in and hide it. Same thing with this side. Turn the wire in and hide it. I'm going to finish off by adding a lot more soil mix, so here we go. I'm not quite sure if you can see the pot clearly because the pot is also quite dark. It's virtually black with a bit of a hint of yellow where the paint has just run down on the sides. It's quite a pretty pot. And I'd like you to have a look at the link on the top right hand side of the video, where you will see what the tree was like when I first got it. It was in a real state and more like a Frankenstein's monster. Somebody had turned it into a monstrosity, and that's the owner of the shop. And no wonder the shop went bankrupt. When you see it, that's the conclusion I came to when I picked up the tree, and I asked the seller as to what had happened. He had been given about 6 or 7 trees by the shop owner, the bonsai shop owner. He couldn't pay the wages, so the staff got paid in trees. And he explained that the wiring had been done by the owner. It was so bad, the tree had been disfigured. So do have a look at the link in this video to see the previous videos when I worked on the tree, from reshaping it, wiring it, to correct it. I tend to prefer the clip and grow method, directional pruning, and occasionally we have to wire because the directional pruning just won't cut it. And in this case it was virtually all the branches needed wiring up, and also some drastic pruning to correct the past mistakes. But it's getting there. I'm quite pleased with it. And we're at the tail end of repotting, and now I'm going to apply these organic pellets, fertilizer pellets, and I bury them just below the surface, and every time we water, a little bit of it will dissolve and the tree will take what it needs. So just above the roots, and that works quite well, and the tree will love it and really gets going. It goes absolutely crazy. Fresh soil, plenty of space around the roots, and it's had its roots pruned, and yeah, it's going to go ballistic. That's what happens every time we repot and apply fertilizer. The repotting is complete, and in the process we did not bare root the tree, and we've made sure that we had a decent sized root ball. all the large thick roots were removed, and we made sure that a healthy amount of fine roots remain, as these are crucial for the absorbing of nutrients. And now we are going to turn to the pruning. Larches, they back bud well, and I tend to prune back to older wood if needed. And there's a dead branch here, so I'm going to remove that as well, taking care not to take any of the small needles, and working my way around. Again, more dead branches, they come off. Also at the bottom there's a dead branch here which comes off. And now this branch here, again not doing very much, so I'll go right in to about there, and new branches will come from below the cut. And I also have a few cones, quite pretty little cones. There's one here, there's another one here, and there's another one here, so there's 3 reasonably close together. They look quite pretty. And again, same process, removing these branches, cutting them right back. This one I'm going to go right here, it's too long. And same thing with this one here, to there, and this one here again to about there. And on this lower pad there's just one that needs to be cut back to there. That should do. This pad is coming along quite nicely, and just below the cut, that's where the new branches will come. And again, little dead branch here, just tidies it all up. And same thing with this one, I'll cut here to start developing, growing this pad for the pad to get bigger. And these I will cut about just behind this one. I want the branches to come this way. That is the clip and grow method. And this pad now, I will start reducing these long leggy branches back to where the needles are, and where the new growth will come from. There we go. Same thing with that. One more to go and that pad is done. And again, here we have some more cones. Although this is small, but while I'm at it, I might as well reduce it to there. Give it a head start. This one is getting quite, up to here is okay, but from here on it's getting leggy, so out it comes. And same thing applies to that branch there. And plenty of cones up here. There's a cone here, a couple of cones here, and then there's 2 more here and another little one here. I'm working my way around the tree, and this is the next pad, and that again will be cut to there. And there's a small dead branch on this side there. I'm going to remove that. I'm working my way around the apex, so this one will come off. Again, same principle, and likewise this one comes off. So that pad is complete up to here, and there's a dead branch here which I will remove. There's that one there, and I've also seen another one here. They're relatively small, but nevertheless they're dead, so they ought to be removed. Working around the tree, now this branch is coming from here, so I'll have to go right in and cut here. That's that one. Oh, another dead branch, quite a large one. And that happens when the sun cannot get through, so we have to prune the trees and reduce the canopy so that the sun and light and air can get through. So this one will be cut here, just like hairdressers. There we go. I'll give it a quick 360 and you can see the transformation. The pot has done wonders for the tree. During the repot, I've cleaned up the surface roots and pulled them out a little bit more, and they've cleaned up quite nicely, and I thought I'd show you what the surface roots look like. And the trunk is quite impressive. It's very thick here and then it tapers to the top, and it's had a trunk chop a number of times. It's quite an old tree. Now we're going to water the tree and give it a thorough watering. It'll help settle the soil. Also, the foliage is being misted to keep the needles hydrated, and the tree will then be placed in a shaded area and protected for a few weeks to recover from the stress of repotting. With these steps, this larch bonsai tree has been repotted and pruned, ready to continue growing beautifully. I'll be monitoring the tree very closely in the following weeks. And if you're still with me, please like, subscribe and comment. Until the next time, this is Iqbal Khan for mikbonsai in West London.